So you have iPhone 10 or 10s. Should you upgrade to iPhone 13 Pro? The short answer is probably yes. You know, last year I've done a similar video for iPhone 12 Pro, and back then my conclusion was it is not worth to upgrade. But this year I think Apple have done enough to make the iPhone 13 Pro a good upgrade. So when it comes to upgrading phones, I like to focus on 5 things: design, display, performance, battery life, and cameras. So let's start with design. Well, iPhone 13 Pro is very similar to iPhone 12 Pro, meaning it has these squared edges, and some people like it, some people hate it. For me, I do like the feel I had when I hold iPhone 10 in my hand, but the look-wise, I actually prefer the design of the 13 or 12 Pro. This squared edges, kind of industrial design, feels very classic and very beautiful to me. Of course, this year the notch is smaller, and for me the bigger camera module of course is not a good thing, but as we will find out in part number 5 of this video, this camera module does bring a lot to the table, meaning that the image quality and video quality is much better this year. Then we have display, and this year, differently from last year, Apple has finally made a big change to its display. It is now ProMotion high refresh rate display, and it is much better. It is brighter, especially outside, and it is smoother, and it does make a lot of difference in my opinion. That being said, iPhone 10 display is still fine. It is OLED display, but of course it's not as good as iPhone 13's. Next, we have my favorite part of the review, which is the shortest one for me always. It is performance. You know, I don't care about performance. For the past 3 or 4 years, I couldn't tell a difference between the phones, because really for everything I do, I don't game. For recording, for FaceTiming, for web browsing, for streaming videos or whatever, performance on both of these phones will be perfectly fine for you. And that brings us to battery life. And last year, iPhone 12 Pro wasn't very impressive when it comes to battery life, although iPhone 10 was still much worse than that. But this year, Apple has improved the battery life dramatically, and iPhone 13 Pro is actually very, very good when it comes to battery. It is as good as iPhone 12 Pro Max was last year, so battery life on the new iPhone is much better. And finally we have camera, and last year's iPhone 12 Pro was much better than iPhone 10 in my opinion, and this year it is even better. This cinematic mode, these picture styles or photographic styles, this is the macro mode, this is the new ultra wide lens, which is very, very impressive. I can say with confidence that the iPhone 13 Pro's camera is a really good upgrade over the iPhone 10. So this was my quick comparison of iPhone 10 versus iPhone 13 Pro. I do think it is totally worth an upgrade. So if you like this video, please give it the thumbs up, subscribe, and stay tuned for more comparisons and other cool videos like this.